Kagekid Creative presents. Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Hi, my name is James, aka KageKid, and welcome to my show, Kagekids Kitchen. This is the 5th episode, which is my Thanksgiving special, and I am joined here today with everyone's favorite Annabelle from the last episode. Thank you for coming back and joining me on this very, very special episode.
Well, thank you for having me back. What am I gonna say? I'm here, I'm back. Let's get to cooking.
Yes. So the next lesson after chicken is usually chicken again. This time we're going to learn the wet cooking methods, and that usually includes things like stewing and braising, but today we're going to try a very special technique called En Papillote, which is a French term that means in paper. The special thing about En Papillote is that it steams and roasts everything inside of the parchment paper in order to make sure that everything is nice and wet and tender in the inside. For the spirit of Thanksgiving, I decided to turn the chicken into turkey so that we can make this a Thanksgiving meal. This is a turkey en papillote. And the good thing about a turkey en papillote is that you can use any part of the turkey that you'd like. Today I am using turkey cutlets. But you can use the turkey breast, you can use literally any part of the turkey that you'd like. You can use tenders, and it's a good alternative for what you normally do on Thanksgiving as opposed to just roasting an entire turkey and literally turning it into sandwiches afterwards for days, because literally no one eats the turkey on actual Thanksgiving.
That's true. I don't even eat turkey on Thanksgiving.
Neither do I. It's like it gets usually gets taken by the ham and everything else.
A bit like the pork shoulder.
The pork shoulder.
Like pernil.
Yes. Pernil, pork shoulder, ham, chicken. I'm usually eating so many other meats that by the time I get to the turkey, it's...
You don't even want to have the turkey.
You don't even want to have the turkey.
Because like, I don't want to say this. Like, okay, down in the section below, what do you guys use to season your turkeys with? Like, what is your preferred turkey cooking method?
There's essentially 3 parts to the turkey en papillote. There is the turkey itself. It's also a mustard walnut sauce that has sage, rosemary, garlic, ginger, Dijon mustard, and also a little bit of salt and pepper as well. And lastly, we're also going to cut some vegetables. We have some zucchini here, we have a carrot here, we have squash here, and we have a leek here as well. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to get these vegetables nice and cut up so that we can get them ready for our en papillote. For those of you who do not know what this is a mandolin.
Here's the safety guard.
Yes, here's the safety guard.
Right.
You use it for when your pieces are way too small, but we're starting with some pretty big pieces of vegetables here. So when you're using your mandolin, what you want to do, you want to make sure that it is nice and safe, that your hand has a firm grip on the handle and is firm against your cutting board. Then with your vegetable, you want to make sure that it has a nice flat surface for you to nicely place on the mandolin, and then you just want to do slices across just like so.
So you want to get them this size, so they can cook fairly quickly, right?
Yes, exactly that. Annabelle, if you want to try cutting up a few pieces out of the squash.
Okay. Let's see. My instinct is always to go fast.
Okay, Chef Annabelle in the house.
Yeah, Bell's Kitchen.
No, they go.
I will say, screaming around a mandolin does make me nervous.
Tell me when.
And when?
Okay.
Cool. Alright.
See?
You have a lot of pieces. This is cool.
I told you I could go really quick. I really love granola.
This makes me want to make ratatouille. Our next vegetable is going to be a zucchini. Essentially, we're going to cut it in the same way that we cut our yellow squash. Basically, same exact motion. You're just cutting, you're getting those.
Please take your time.
Yes,
go
take your
slow.
time. Your hand should always be on the top of whatever vegetable you're cutting, so that you have a good grip.
And if it's like smaller, please use a hand grip.
Yeah, definitely use a hand grip. Can you cut some of these too?
Okay, tell me when.
Funnily enough, I like this mandolin.
I really do.
It's a little bit different from the one that I had at work. So the next thing that we're going to cut with our mandolin is our carrot. So literally same exact thing. Because we want all of the pieces to be, cut equally at the same size. The mandolin is a really good tool in order to get your cuts consistent. Just again, always make sure that you are keeping your hand above, and then Annabelle, we'll let you finish this one off as well.
That thing?
Yes, that should be good.
I'm ready to go with
I
mandolin.
feel like Annabelle is showing me up on camera.
I'm not, like, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
The very last thing that we're going to cut up are our leeks, and again, same exact motion. If you don't have a mandolin, you can also just chop this up with a knife, make sure that you're getting them nicely even, but same thing with the leeks. You just want to get them nice and cut. Maybe speed it up here so that I can be on Annabelle's level. Then I will let you finish it. Take my leeks off the table first. I'm learning.
Say what?
Lettuce.
We are done.
We are done cutting all of our vegetables. And now that our vegetables are all nice and cut, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to make our mustard sauce. We have some Dijon mustard here, some ground sage, some rosemary, some pepper, some ginger, some garlic, some salt, and also some crushed walnuts as well. So Annabelle is gonna take some of these things, I'm gonna take some of these things, and we're gonna dump them all into the bowl right now. We're gonna get the mustard in here.
Oh, all of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Oh, okay.
This is all measured out.
Okay. I got garlic?
Yeah. No, actually, this is ginger.
Ginger. I got
I will put you right over top. Crushed walnuts. Then, essentially, what we want to do once we have this all together, we're going to give this one good stir. Now that our mustard sauce is done, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start ensembling our En Papillotes. I have these heart-shaped parchment papers that we're going to put our turkey on. Steps to making an En Papillote: you put your paper right down on the tray. First thing that we want to do is we want to season our turkey. So I'm going to sprinkle some salt, pepper, nutmeg, and ground cloves that I'm going to also sprinkle on top. Then I'm going to turn my turkey over, and I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. I'll move this over to the side, and I'll get you your own part here.
Yo.
And I'll let you do the same exact thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty heavy-handed.
Listen, you go as heavy-handed
I'm
as
pretty
you want.
heavy-handed.
The good thing about an En Papillote is that it allows you to personalize whatever you're making inside of it, and it doesn't have to be the same for everyone. As you'll see later when we put our vegetables inside, that you have the option to put just the zucchini and the squash. You could put the squash and the carrots. You could put everything in there. You could put nothing in there. This could just be your turkey En Papillote with just turkey in it.
Wait, first of all,
You're about to drag me, I feel it.
tell people that. Tell the people that you can't not season the food. Please season the food.
Well, definitely season the food. Definitely 100% no matter what, season the food. But I do want to tell the people that if they don't want to put like vegetables and all that kind of stuff in it, they don't have to.
Oh.
Yeah, like definitely
Yeah, you
season.
gotta mention
100.
that.
Like this is a crucial step, 100%.
Please season
I feel like you guys are talking to a very specific
it.
demographic.
Yes. We don't want to say whom.
You know who they are.
You know who you are, you anti-seasoners.
Right, exactly.
I season it.
Once your turkey is seasoned, the next thing that you're going to do, take a brush. We're going to brush a little bit of our mustard seasoning right on top of our turkey. Make sure it's nice and well and evenly coated. Get a good layer on there.
Are you gonna do it on both? You have to do it on both sides.
You don't have to do this part on both sides. This you could do right on the top. And it'll be enough to flavor the top of the turkey, and also we're gonna put our vegetables right on top of this, so it'll also get the mustard sauce right on the bottom of the vegetables also.
So if you don't season.
Exactly. I season the turkey just because I feel like at the base layer, the turkey itself needs a little bit of love, and then the mustard sauce will also give it love, but also like the actual turkey itself needs love itself.
I'm really gonna do the both sides.
You can do it. Like I said, the great thing about the En Papillote is that you can do whatever you like, and it's your creation and it's your situation. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our vegetables. We can pick whatever we like, and we're just gonna lay them right on top of the turkey. So I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. I'm gonna put some zucchini, do some squash, and some carrots. You can change it up here. You can make it look pretty. This is your design. You just want an even layer of vegetables so that everything does cook evenly when it's in the oven. But past then, there are literally no rules.
So you have to season your vegetables as well.
What we're gonna do after this, we're gonna put some butter on top, and then we're gonna season everything all together.
Okay, what I'm gonna pocket full of sunshine.
Pocket full of sunshine.
With the leeks.
Yes. I miss Natasha Betty.
Oh my God, how's she doing? Is she still a pocket full of sunshine? Let us know in the comment section. How many times did y'all play Pocket Full of Sunshine? Or
way too many. So I have some thyme here. I also have some pepper, and you have the salt.
okay,
I also have these sticks of butter here. So what we're gonna do is just
pat them.
right on top, because these are frozen sticks, so that they melt nicely right inside of the oven. Place it right on top of your vegetables.
How much butter is too much butter?
I think we've learned in Kagekids Kitchen episode 3 that there's literally never enough
Okay,
butter.
so if I use the whole stick of butter.
I can also equally say in culinary school that I also learned there that there's no such thing as too much butter. Most of the staples of most French cuisine is literally salt, white wine, and butter in everything.
Yep.
I'm gonna put some salt, some thyme, and some pepper.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like used to doing this.
No, it's all good. No salt in the emotion. Yes. Come on, teamwork. I like that you crushed the thyme like that.
Oh yeah, I love doing this because it releases the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I do that with oregano too.
As you should.
Mm-hmm.
The very last thing that we're gonna add to our En Papillote is just a couple of extra crushed walnuts.
Okay.
Just to,
So if you're allergic, you can omit them.
you can omit them. There's
Okay.
also crushed walnuts in the mustard sauce as well, and you can definitely omit it from there as well.
Yeah.
But this is just to get a nice crunch. It goes together with the butter. It gets it nice and cooked up. When you are folding your En Papillote, the very first thing you want to do, starting at the bottom, you're gonna give it a nice fold over, just like so.
I have way too much butter on.
There's no. We just went over this. There's no such thing as too much
Look,
butter.
it's falling over the papillote.
It's okay. This is why you just gotta focus on closing it.
Wesley is so
It's
happy
nice
right
and
now.
sealed. Somewhere Wesley is like, he's using butter. My best oven off the top, Wesley. Then you're gonna continue folding it over as you continue up the paper, just making sure that you get it nice and sealed, and continuing to fold it over the entire time. If you feel your food is too close to the edge, you just give a little nudge on the inside, nothing too crazy. And you're gonna just continue folding it all the way.
Does it have to be like tight?
It does have to be tight. You want it to be nice and closed so that the seam gets enclosed in the paper, and none of the steam really travels out. You want the butter to melt in there and not really leak out of your En Papillote either.
Okay, so what's the science behind like making things in papillote? Like, does it-
Science is essentially, it goes into the oven,
Okay.
it's roasted, and because we have the butter in here, we also have that sauce in here, it's essentially gonna steam everything that's on the inside in order to just get like this pocket of moisture on the inside in order to make the turkey in this case nice and tender and good for what
I'm
we're
scared.
doing. You're scared now?
Like,
But it's just folding it over, and as you can see, mine is not like the prettiest job, but you literally just want this to be closed and surrounded.
Okay, so fold
Mhm.
like this, right?
So over this way, like this.
Oh, onto itself.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm basically twisting mine. Is that
Listen,
correct?
it's fine. Yes, that's also fine. The idea is just that by the time you close your En Papillote, that there's literally just nothing coming out of it or anything like that. I've literally been in kitchens where people just twist it all around and call it grace. I've been in restaurants where they've been too lazy to do En Papillote, and they're just like, let me wrap this up in some aluminum foil and call it a grace. And that's like the cheating and also the lazy version of En Papillote. You take some aluminum foil, cut it into a rectangle. You have your whatever you're putting in your En Papillote on one side, and you put it, and then you close it with some aluminum foil and call it a day.
Let's be honest, that's not really like En Papillote.
It's not in paper, so.
No. I feel like mine is gonna like unroll.
Oh, looks good.
Let's this part over. Let me just, okay. Let's pray to Jesus.
Let's pray to Jesus. Now that our En Papillote is in the oven, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start on our sweet potato wedges. So the very first thing you want to do, I already cut a bunch of sweet potatoes up, but essentially you want to cut them into halves like this. Then the next thing you're going to do, you want to cut off the top and the bottom of your halves. Then you want to also cut these halves into halves. And then what you want to do is you want to cut those halves into eighths, like so. Before I cut all of my sweet potatoes, I also scrubbed them down so that there wasn't a lot of dirt on them. You want them to be really big and chunky like this because you want them to be kind of big for when they're in the oven. When you're done, this is what you're looking for. Once your sweet potatoes are all cut up, the next thing that you want to do is you want to get them nice and seasoned. I'm going to be using coconut oil today, but Yani is allergic to coconut, so we have her a mix of olive oil and sunflower oil that she is going to use. Dump in your oil right into the pan. Then we're going to season it with some salt, some pepper, oregano, some barbecue seasoning. It'll add a really nice smoky flavor to our sweet potato wedges. And then additionally, we're gonna add in some paprika as well. Once your seasoning is in your sweet potato wedges, you're gonna take your hand and you're gonna give it a nice mix inside. You wanna make sure that the oil and the seasonings are well over everything. Once your sweet potatoes are all mixed together, we're gonna put it right onto our tray.
How long are we putting these in for?
Good question. So we are going to put these in the oven at 425 for 25 minutes.
Okay. So if you want them extra crispy, do it for 30 kids.
Yes, also that. Now that our turkey En Papillote is out of the oven, our sweet potato wedges are in the oven, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on our cranberry sauce. Our cranberry sauce is 4 very simple ingredients. We have cranberries here, we have some water here, we also have some orange juice here, and then our last ingredient is some sriracha as well, because we are making a cranberry sriracha sauce. All we really need to do is bring everything over to the stove, put it into the pan, and let it boil down, and we're about to get that started right now. Now we're over here at the stove, and making our cranberry sauce, like I said, is just as easy as getting everything right into the pan at the same time. We're gonna let it get really hot. We're gonna let it boil, and then we're gonna bring it to a simmer. So I'm gonna put in the orange juice. Annabelle's gonna put in the cranberries at the same time. Also get that water in there. And that's simple. We're gonna get a top on this and we're gonna bring it down to a simmer as soon as it starts to boil. Now that our cranberries are boiling, the next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna roll it down to a simmer. We're gonna let this chill here for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then once everything is done, we're pretty much all ready to eat. Our cranberries have been cooking down for about 15 minutes now. The next thing that we are going to do is we're gonna add in some sriracha. Give it that good, nice, sweet heat. Next thing, we're gonna give it a good mix, just to mix in that sriracha with the rest of our cranberry sauce. And that's our last step because our sweet potato fries are already out of the oven. And now that everything is ready, it is now time to eat.
Nice.
You ready?
1, 2. I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
I don't know. This is delicious. The vegetables are tender. Let me paint a picture for you. If you have, like, if you're gonna spend, because we're in the middle of a pandemic, if you're gonna spend Thanksgiving by yourself, you can't fly out because of COVID, buy some chicken cutlets. I mean, some turkey cutlets.
Turkey cutlets. I know, it's so hard. I make this.
They taste, yeah, they look just like chicken cutlets. But like, buy turkey cutlets and make yourself those.
And honestly, you could do this with any part of the turkey that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this with turkey breasts. You can do it with the turkey tenders. I know the turkey tenders are a little hard to find. And honestly, it's really, really good.
But if you're gonna do something, please season it.
Please season it.
100%.
Please season it. It's delicious. Like, the vegetables are very tender, almost falling apart, and the sweet potatoes are creamy but also crispy. It's just great. It just feels like home, like Thanksgiving, but on a Tuesday.
For those of you who don't know, we're shooting this
On a Tuesday. Let's pretend it's Thanksgiving.
We'll pretend it's Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. It just feels comforting. You don't really taste the butter.
You don't?
You
'Cause
don't.
The butter is mostly meant to just make sure that your turkey stays hydrated. It's the flavor of, if I wanted to make the butter like a flavor component, I would have made it a compound butter and I would have put some like herbs and spices in it beforehand, made it the whole situation. I said, you know what? I think this chicken meal can handle it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Or the turkey meal can handle it on its own.
Mm-hmm. It like goes really well, like with the cranberry sauce, because it's like sweet and tangy and slightly tart, and then like it gives like a good contrast to the turkey.
I'm gonna actually dump some of my cranberry sauce right onto my turkey here.
Do it. Do yourself that favor. Do it. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, we have sides, but this is the main event.
Yes. Turkey and papillote is the main event, and it goes perfect with these potato wedges.
Yeah.
People be doing extravagant things for Thanksgiving, and I'm like, it can be this simple.
Make this.
Nice and easy. It only took us, only because we were filming, it took us 2 hours to make, but honestly and truthfully speaking, this is something that could be done in your house in like an hour. If that, not even, maybe like 45 minutes.
This is a great alternative, though.
I'm just out here trying to change people's minds on what they can do with turkey for Thanksgiving. Just to let them know that there isn't one thing that you need to do in terms of putting an entire turkey in the oven and trying to roast it.
Don't deep fry it.
Don't deep fry your turkey. Do yourself that favor this year and don't deep fry your turkey. Definitely not.
Papillote.
Papillote it. And if you don't really like vegetables like that, this is an excellent way to cook vegetables.
It really is.
So I'm gonna do this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey and papillote, or the sweet potato wedges. Which one do you like more?
I don't like that you're doing that, though. But only because I keep eating the papillon more.
Mm-hmm.
The papillon.
That's fair.
Because it's so tender, it's light, it's moist. Like, a lot of people don't like to hear that word.
I tried to avoid it as much as I could during this
I
episode.
mean, what other word are you going to say?
I used the word wet a lot this episode,
No.
and I almost feel uncomfortable about it.
Let's just get it out of the way. It's very tender, it's very moist. Juicy can be another word.
Juicy, that's true.
Yeah, it's very contained in its juice. It's good, it's just good overall. I just keep going back to this. Like, yeah, the sweet potatoes are, the wedges are very delicious, but like, wow. If you have a very picky eater,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't like vegetables, Look, I'm gonna sneak in some vegetables in here.
Literally.
And just put crap on the butter in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids are gonna be like, wow, Mom, this is so good. And the kids are just gonna be elated.
You heard it here.
It's true.
The alternative to this is that you can also put the vegetables on the bottom. You know, someone is going to go right into that turkey. They're not even going to know that they're getting into vegetables at all. So I put it on top because I like the butter to go right onto the vegetables, get them nice and soft, right on top of the turkey, get it nice and juicy. Avoiding that M word. But also in this part of 2020, I feel like the word wed is very popular
because of Cardi. Like they even use it in a political campaign. Oh my god. Please figure that out. Listen, she knows how to sell records, that's for sure.
Yes.
She really does. Cause who else is gonna be like? I'm not even gonna say it.
We got some wet ass papillote. I feel like I know lots of people who are fans of the wok, would see that on the menu, not even care.
They might care.
They see wok, they're like, I want that wok.
Okay, let's be
I don't
honest.
even care what it stands for.
I'll be fair with you. But if they really do serve you a wet ass paper, you're gonna be mad. It's gonna be really tight. I'm like, wow. Like, what happened if they just serve you this?
But also, no, just the wet ass paper? No, that's disrespectful. Never.
Wow.
I would definitely, you know, you're getting the wok, you get it open, look, it's on a nice art presentation paper, you get your sweet potato fries and your Sriracha Cranberry Sauce on one side, and then on the other side you have this tender ass turkey cutlet that is ready for consumption. So what are your final thoughts on the food?
I think it's delicious. I think if you want to make a Thanksgiving dish for yourself, like if you're missing home and you can't go home, if you want to try the papillote just by itself, 10 out of 10. If you want to try the sweet potato wedges and the cranberry sauce by itself, 10 out of 10. The whole dish is 10 out of 10. It's tender, it's juicy, the vegetables are very, very like cooked to perfection because they're paper thin and they blend right in with the turkey. The sweet potatoes are crispy on the outside, but they're soft on the inside. The cranberry sauce is tart, it's sweet, slightly spicy because you got the sriracha. 10 out of 10. I would, like, if I made this myself and I just got Kage's recipe, I'd be like, wow, I'm really proud of myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But also, just another thing to wrap things up, I will also say that En Papillote is a good bonding activity to also do with your people over Thanksgiving as well. Because as you see, everyone has the opportunity to make their own version of En Papillote. So if you're making it together as a family and someone wants the turkey but they don't like carrots or they don't like zucchini for some reason,
that's
you know,
customizable.
you can customize it per person. I didn't do this for the show, but you can also like take a marker, write someone's name right on top so that you know who's his who's. And it really becomes a fun Thanksgiving activity that doesn't become like one person slaving away at this.
Oh yeah. Everybody else, everyone at the table gets what they want, exactly how they want it.
Exactly.
And seasoned to how they want it.
Seasoned to how they want it to. For you anti-seasoners out there.
Oh yeah. So you can also control how much butter you want too, but we're not gonna control butter on this family.
Yes, we are not. Thank you, Annabelle,
Thank you for
coming
having
to
me.
Kagekids Kitchen episode 5. I really appreciate you being here.
I love being here. Yeah.
Also, thank you guys for joining both of us on Kagekids Kitchen episode 5. I hope you learned a lot. I hope that you can go home this Thanksgiving and do an alternative to your general roasted turkey that makes a turkey more an enjoyable dish for you. Subscribe to my channel for more episodes of Kagekids Kitchen as well as other content all throughout my channel. I just released a new mix of Guile's Theme Goes With Everything mixed with the iconic 2020 song WAP, so definitely make sure to check that out. Again, I hope you learned a lot on this episode, and peace.
Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids